Hello and welcome everyone, I'm Madals. I'm here with some more Heart of the Swarm action. It is a TvP. Let me introduce the two players straight off the bat. In the top left position, spawning on a Hana, we have the purple Terran player, GoOdy. And his opponent down in the lower right, the blue Protoss, NeverDie. So NeverDie, clearly just by his name, he's feeling pretty confident. I hope he has a 100% win rate. Otherwise, his name is slightly hypocritical. That's all I'm gonna say. If you're gonna go a name like that, you have to win everything, because otherwise it's just not true. And of course, everything anyone writes on the internet is of course 100% true all of the time, right, guys? Right? I hope so. But anyway, what can we expect in terms of this game? What is likely to go down? What could happen? And how do you counteract it? Well, being a TvP, we do have options. Basically, the main thing that we can see is basically one of them going for an aggressive opening. It's more likely to be NeverDie, to be honest. Protoss players tend to be the aggressor. There's also some nice little timing pushes a Terran player can hit. Especially things like with a +1 stim timing, that really any timing revolving around stim. +1 with stim, with 2 medevacs is really potent against everything ever. But Protoss players, they also have some nice things, but if they go past the mid-game, really they don't want to do too much. Generally speaking, this is a very specific timing, and the reason for that is you need to have splash damage to deal with a large amount of infantry. You desperately need, for example, something along the lines of Storm or Colossi for extended thermal lance, and then it's up to the Terran to counter those, so general principles are fairly similar. GoOdy though, he is a fan of mech. That's just a fact, a statement of truth. The meching for GoOdy is pretty much the cornerstone of his gaming career, and it's more viable against Protoss now than it ever has been, and that's a lot due to the Widow Mine, because early on, Widow Mines one-shot Zealots and Stalkers, which is incredibly powerful, and you can do some hilarious things. Marine Marauder Medevac Mine, or as Day9 likes to call it, Biomine, which will slowly become just the said thing, is really powerful. It is absolutely great. Early game especially. In the late game you obviously still need to get out Ghosts or Vikings in order to deal with Colossi or High Templar, but early game and mid game, Biomine, good. Just it is good as a composition. It works well, it's nice defensively, it's nice offensively. Generally, you're going to be happy with it. And if you're happy with it, then I'm happy with it. That's what I say. So anyway, GoOdy getting down his factory. He's got the 1 gas at the moment. No sign of an expansion for either player yet. Only 1 gas for NeverDie though. NeverDie, what have you got planned? You've got 1 gas. You've got 1 awesome looking Zealot. By the way, these Zealot skins look best in yellow. They look absolutely OP. They are so cool. So yeah, just a little fact. Looks like it's going to be a quick expansion now. NeverDie, just a 1 gate expansion on its way. He was waiting to scare out that SUV though. He does not want GoOdy seeing this go down. Wants to leave GoOdy in the dark, unbeknowing of his master plan. Because if he is unbeknowing, then obviously he cannot react to it. But GoOdy, I don't know, I was just sitting there watching that probe. I was just like eagerly waiting for what is basically an eternity. GoOdy getting down those Widow Mines just as I thought he would. He's also getting down concussive shells. Is this going to be some kind of funky mine marauder composition? Because that would be sweet. NeverDie, he does have the mothership core, and he has now got his command center Nexus on its way. Can you tell I've been up for rather a while when I'm casting this? I'm a bit too hyper, and I'm just like, yay. But here we go, GoOdy, he's saying no mothership core, you are not coming in here, go away, you're not scouting my base, you're not seeing my trickery and plans in the form of mines and marauders. Mines and marauders sound really good when you say them together, by the way. I just really like saying that, and oh dear, clicking buttons I shouldn't be clicking. Anyway, good scout off here, sees something researching from the tech lab, unfortunately pulling back straight away, so that's a bit like, ooh, I wonder what it is, and I don't believe the mothership core saw a marauder, so it can still be a bit like, I wonder what's coming. Robotic facility on its way, gateway on its way. Straight away NeverDie knows I've got to be a lot more careful. This mothership core though now gets a good read. Saw the marauder, sees the Widow Mine as well, so knows exactly what is coming. The concussive shell is going to really help. It allows you to kite the stalkers, but this mothership core does have to be incredibly cautious because it's going to come straight over the top. Bunkers coming down. Oh GoOdy, what are you doing? GoOdy, this is nasty. You nasty man. What are you doing? Double bunkering your opponent. You have got those marauders. You've got some marines. You've got more units streaming across. Oh, be careful, Stalker. You do not want to be engaging that pylon. does die. NeverDie is losing stuff quite badly. There's the photon overcharge though. That's all you wanted, but it goes down to the natural, and the unit's already coming up towards the main. The mine did manage to trigger on a Zeta, takes that out pretty quickly, but the mortar getting taken out. Double cancel forced. And while we do have this mortar doing a nice little bit of damage, it should eventually die. So actually, NeverDie did an okay job here. He defended it quite nicely. He didn't lose that much. He lost 2 workers. All in resources, GoOdy lost more. And NeverDie still has a natural. And what is beautiful about this, absolutely fantastic, is the fact that the Mothership Core allows you to do something like this as Protoss. Go back to Wings of Liberty. Without that photon overcharge, do you know how dead NeverDie would have been? Very dead. But due to photon overcharge, due to that Mothership Core, he's okay. There, straight away goes down that Widow Mine. Oh, that was nasty. Taking out the Mothership Core with that mine. That was a good little composition. The Observer still coming back. The Observer desperate in order to grant the vision, grant the detection in order to spot out where those mines may be. Not feeling too safe though. GoOdy, he's just chucking down a bunker at the top of his ramps. Got his natural base, but he hasn't floated it down yet, so it's really just a second command center at the moment. He's also getting down a medevac. He's getting down a tank, and he's just meching to the max. Meanwhile, NeverDie, he's got Twilight Council. He's got a forge on its way. What's he gonna be going for? Well, we will wait to see. No robotics bay. He has selected it. Blink is coming out, so he's going to be going for a blink heavy style, which is quite nice on this map. You can blink up into this vicinity and be like, hey, I heard you like units in your base because you just put units in my base, so I'm going to put units in your base and see how you like it. And that's what NeverDie is thinking to himself right now. And GoOdy, well, he's got his tank, and as the tank count gets higher, it's going to be quite nice for the defense, but as we can see, the Observer is just taking a good peek at everything, sees precisely what's going on, knows the timing of the natural, knows the tanks out, knows the medevacs out. Even though he hasn't seen any of the production facilities, he knows precisely what GoOdy's got, and that is great news for our Protoss player, who's just happily taking out these rocks and probably going to try and take a 3rd base relatively quickly. 3rd gateway being added, 4th gateway should I say being added on, the robotics bay being added on, so we're going into some Colossi. Blink's out already, that blink just going to help with the drop defense and things like that, so really all looking pretty solid is what I can say for both these two. But it's stabilized quite nicely. The work count 53 to 38. When you factor in the mules, it's not too far behind for GoOdy. As we can see, he's relatively similar on minerals, bit behind in the gas income. But this 3rd base is really a nice timing. I like this out of NeverDie. He knows that GoOdy committed a lot to that push, so he's probably going to be macroing hard behind this, trying to get his economy in shape. So he can afford to take this. He can afford to take it sneakily. He's also got an Observer around here somewhere. Or, no, it's been taken out because of the missile charge, so he hasn't yet seen that 3rd. But if he had, that would be great news. The single pylon also coming down, and a Dark Shrine. DTs are on their way. DTs are not going to have too much fun though while that's there. But if that was no longer there, the DTs could have some fun, and that is always great news. If they manage to get in, DTs would be able to be disastrous and catastrophically effective. So we can all hope, because DTs, nothing in the history of StarCraft has ever made me rage as much as when I get DT rushed or something like that. Because you reach that moment, and because it's something so simple, and you're like, why didn't I make detection? And at that moment, as the DT, which you can't see, is swiping away and killing all your stuff, you're just like, if I just made detection, I would have been fine. And you look back and you watch the replay to work out where you went wrong, and you're like, I did everything right, I even scouted, I should have seen that coming. Like, it was so obvious he was behind, and if behind Dark Shrine, but I didn't make detection. And then you're kicking yourself in it, and you get angry, and it's not good times. But that's off story, that's off point. DTs are good. I'm excited to be seeing them in this game. I like the placement of vision as well. This probe just keeping an eye on the rocks there. The Observer keeping an eye on anything moving out the front. But GoOdy's being very passive for the time being. He's just basically running a single Hellion around. Sees the Colossus though. The Colossus is like, no, I am having none of this. It is not going to be happening. The Viking did manage to take out something though. I have no clue what though. Scans are coming down for GoOdy as well. He sees just, wow, that was a good scan. But what he doesn't see is that Dark Shrine. That scan is literally like a pixel too far to the left. Otherwise, it would have seen the DTs were incoming. So this is straight away looking pretty fun. And all in all, not too much is happening at the moment. We just got some DTs warping in. The infantry is here, but no detection. No detection. There goes down the scan. Oh, DTs, wait, don't go in yet. Don't go in yet. Don't. Wait, DTs, you can do this. You can do this. Okay, be patient. patience is a virtue and virtue is a grace. You want to move in. There we go. Take out that missile turret and laugh as everything dies. Is there any energy for scans? None of the natural. Is there any of the main? No, there isn't. Oh no. Tanks are going down everywhere. GoOdy, what's happening? They're swiping at you. This is why you build missile turrets before you move out. Oh, up he goes. Suddenly trapping everything. Good little trap there. He only lost a couple of tanks. That wasn't too bad. More DTs are warping though. DTs are warping and they're going to come up here. Where's the missile turrets? Here they come. Missile turrets on their way. Scans are ready. There's one scan up. But there goes another scan. Kills the DTs. GoOdy, you defended this well. I'm proud of you, GoOdy. You did a great job. Well done. Well done. NeverDie, you've got to come with something harder now. Your work account is not as far ahead as it was before. With mules, you're actually behind in income. That's not something you want. You do have more gas, though, because GoOdy's only taking his 5th and 6th geyser at the moment. A lot more gateways being added into this composition. And do you know what I'd like to see? While we've got the Colossus count at 1, you really need some more splash than that. Really quite desperately need some more splash than that. Against mech though, High Templar aren't fantastic, but generally speaking, a couple of High Templar wouldn't be a bad move just so you've got the Storms there as an option. So there we go. Actually he's getting down, so that's fine. The Immortals, the double Immortals, actually a good choice against these tanks. Really important. Hellbat drops coming in though, and there's nothing here to defend. Oh dear, Hellbats, and this is where we see Hellbats are still good units. Pick up, fly away, and they killed a couple of probes. That's all nice. GoOdy killing 9 probes this game so far. Not that many, but better than none. The drop is now just still going to keep flying away, coming back in. Don't go back in there, no! No medevac. No medevac, go turn away. Good blink there by NeverDie. Does get a good little blink there. That was absolutely swish. I'm happy with that. Ghost Academy coming down. GoOdy knows a tech switch likely to be in order, just due to the fact... Did he actually see those High Templar there? I don't think he did. But he does know there was only a single Colossus from earlier engagements. So only seeing one Colossus just means that ultimately you know that your opponent hasn't committed heavily to them, so there's probably something else coming out. Extended Thermal Lance, only just getting started at the 15-minute mark. Oh my goodness, this reminds me of Krang's game at the ESED UK Masters. In which round was it? I'm trying to think when it was. I think it was against Hero Marine, his game against... Was it? It may have been. Possibly, perhaps. Anyway, the point being, he forgot Extended Thermal Lance for like a good 20 minutes, and we were just sitting there casting, we were just like, no, Crank, make Extended Thermal Lance. God, he's gonna do it. And he'd even select like the robotics bait and then not make it, and we're just like, oh dear. This Warp Prison though is also thinking, oh dear, but not so much now because he's warping in a lot of DTs. This is when you're just like, I really hope he doesn't have detection up here. And the SCVs, the SCVs are dying. Oh, the SCVs are dying. Why are they stopped there? Stop SCVs! Run away from the DTs! Definitely run away! Oh, these DTs have been so effective already. The supply depots, they're getting taken out. The DTs still going a scan force. But what damage can be done here? Well, straight away, the DTs actually trying to just engage in a head-up engagement. Doing okay for a second, but will get taken out. The Zealots, though, still going to town on everything. 28 SCVs have been killed. Their engagements in the center going down as well. This is looking really, really good. And GoOdy being forced to GG out right there. Just from that beautiful engagement in the back. The work account wasn't actually too bad, but he just had nothing at the front after pulling back the defensive units. So, good work there by NeverDie, living up to his name. GoOdy really got pieced apart. There was a close game though, so I hope you all enjoyed that as much as I did. Thank you very much for watching. Remember, like the video, leave a cool comment, and subscribe. I get new games up every single day of the week on this channel. So you should subscribe so you don't miss any cool action. And if you want to tweet me, it's all up on screen and all those sort of things. So, yeah, I'll catch you all tomorrow. See you then.